what is up you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm Alia Sheikh, a 22-year-old. Oh my god, I cannot say this intro anymore because soon I'm gonna be 23. To be honest, in my mind, I'm still like 16, 17 years old. In my mind, I still feel like I'm that teenage girl in college. But since I'm turning 23 this year, that will be officially me living alone for almost 13 years. I was living with my relatives and everything, but I think that sounds as living alone because my parents weren't there and I was given my own room and everything, and I had very no to less adult interfering in my life, which explains how I am now. But yeah, so it's been a really long time, almost a decade. Really weird. I don't know what I'm feeling. I feel like I'm turning 23 and everything, but I cannot feel like my age is growing up. I'm still so immature and everything. But any which ways, the point of this video today is me talking about me living alone and what are the pros and cons that I found about it. So let's start with the pros. One is that you have complete control over your space. I can decorate my space however I want to do it. I can just do whatever I want to do in my space. If I want LED lights, if I want mirrors, number of mirrors that I have in my room, it's like n number of mirrors. Whatever I want to put on my walls, if I want to do something, everything that I have ever dreamed of, I can just do it. I have like complete free will with my space. So that's the biggest pro. I can close the door and nobody's there to tell me to open it. So you become number two is that you become emotionally strong. Of course, I live alone. I used to live alone. There were so many nights I'm like scared sometimes. Like I was like scared, but I have grown like really more stronger emotionally because I cry alone and then I laugh alone, and then when I'm eating, most of the time when I'm eating, I'm watching Modern Family. That's my favorite comfort show. So you become emotionally strong. You're like, it's okay, I can deal with it because I have dealt with it already. So that's one pro. You create your own routines. Today I woke up at 10:30. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I did my laundry, and now here I am filming. So I can do whatever I want to do. Like there is no fixed schedule that you have to wake up at 8 and you have to go to bed at 8, and it's nothing like that. If I want the AC, I can turn on the AC. If I don't want it, I don't want it. And that's something like a privilege for me. Until now I struggle to maintain routines because in my young age, when I was living with my parents and everything, there was just no like safety net for me. I think that's one more pro, that I have my own safety net. This is my safe space and this is my safe environment. So like when I was living with my parents, there is like a very tense environment around me and I can feel people breathing down my neck. So I think that's one pro, that I have my own routines and I have my own pace. And if there is something dirty and I'm busy or I don't feel good right now, I'm feeling like depressed or something else, I just leave it there. I have sometimes laundries, lying around like for weeks before I touch them. So yeah. Next is peace. And by peace, I mean like real peace. A few days ago, my mom visited me here and she was like, let's live together. And I was like, no, thank you. Because I just feel like when I'm alone with my cat. Oh, I have a cat, by the way. So that's one more pro, that I got to get a cat. When in my entire life, I begged my parents to get me a kitten or a cat. And now I have George. George, where are you? Come here. And which ways? So peace and I mean, like, sometimes when, especially like if I'm talking to the camera, okay, but sometimes I'm just like sitting and doing my work, and there is nobody shouting in my ears, and there's nothing that I have to like be scared of, and I feel like that kind of peace is something that I really wanted. Like after a full day of work, I'm just tired and I want to go to bed and I want to sleep, and there is nobody to tell me that I cannot do that. Like nobody to tell me anything, and that is like peace. I can be like, finally it's like quiet, like I don't have to worry. Like yeah, I have my brain constantly talking to me, but like it's like peace. I don't have anybody rushing me, anybody bashing me, and it's just like, no offense my parents if you're watching this, but I'm sorry, I just love this peace. And next is a different kind of confidence. If I live alone, of course I know that I'm paying the bills myself, I'm talking to the landlord myself, and I'm doing my own groceries, doing my own laundry, and I'm doing everything that I did once for my parents. I'm doing it for myself alone, and I'm happy about it. And next is, I said groceries, I can eat whatever I want to eat. Maybe a different kind of confidence, because I know that I'm living alone, I know that I'm doing almost everything alone, and I'm just like I said, I'm doing my groceries and everything, so I can just exist, and there is no pressure on me, and I feel that is something that I did all my entire life. And the last one on the pros is that it's really good that I can romanticize my life. Like sometimes, I take an hour-long bath with scrub and exfoliate and shave and everything, like an hour-long bath. That's a privilege. In my room, I can light candles, and I can like put on ribbons anywhere I want. I can put on, it's just like I said, I have the space to do anything, and this is like my safety net, and I would never compromise this for anything. My whole life I wanted my own space. Now that I say it sounds really weird, but I'm really grateful to have this space. There was a time where I was living with my aunt, and it was really weird because they are not your family, okay? They're relatives, but they're not your family, and it felt really weird. But now that I have my own safe space, it's something, I'm proud of myself, and I'm grateful for that. So I thank God for all He has blessed me with. That's awesome. But always remember, God created two sides, so good and then bad. Now I will tell you the cons of living alone. I live alone in Dubai right now, and it's really expensive, like really expensive. The rent of this room is 2,000 dirhams. How much is 2,000 in my country? I always keep forgetting the ratio. Okay. Shit. The rent of this room is around 45,000 Indian rupees. It's like really expensive here, like 2,000 for this room, groceries, going out, clothes and everything for myself. It's really expensive. Good. Next is that it feels very lonely. Of course, just like I said, that like if you're a homebody, or if you're a person who miss your parents a lot, or if you are connected to them, if you're attached to your family or siblings or your friends, it's not a good space for you to be in. But for me, I don't miss my parents. They hate me for this. I don't miss my parents. I do miss my brother a lot, and I wish I could just like keep him with me, but right now it's not possible. Maybe in the future, inshallah. But if you're like me, then this is the best thing to do for you, to live alone. But if you miss your family and you're like attached to them, so it's really lonely, because your next is mental load is like 24/7. I do my own shit, right? Like groceries and this and that and everything, but there's a mental load somewhere in my mind that, oh, I have to get this done, because if I don't do it, who will do it? I don't think that's too much for me, but if you live alone, and you will feel that. For me, I don't feel this now at this point, because as I said, it's been almost 13 years that I'm living alone. But when in the beginning there was this pressure on me to cook for myself, like it has to be done like this and that and everything, but now it's different, but it does feel like a mental load on you. Next is, you have to be disciplined, because if you're not, then you will drown. Like at this moment right now, if I don't want to get up, and if I feel like if I'm not disciplined and I'm like, fuck it, then I will be in bed until 4 o'clock in the evening, and then I'll get up and drink some thing, and then, but that is very difficult to keep that pace going on. Yes, I do have my fair share of mistakes and everything. Also, one reason behind is that I was living without my parents from a long time, so I'm like more mature than other kids, but I'm still immature. That's weird. 20 is a very weird space to be in. Actually, you're like, you have to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, your room will be filthy. My room is filthy. How many videos I have here? Cleaning my room, my entire existence is like messy. And last is that you will make a lot of mistakes, okay? You will make a lot of mistakes, especially when it comes to finances. You will make a lot of bloody fucking mistakes, and you're gonna be like, you have either two choices. You're gonna be like, either I can learn from it, or I can just think it's a mistake and just like forget about it, and then it will happen again. Mistakes, you learn from them, but you will make a lot of mistakes. That is the most important thing to keep in mind. This is your first time living 20s. This is your first time being in your 21st, 22nd, 23rd year, and you just don't know, you haven't had it figured it out yet, because all your life you were a child, okay? We are bound to make mistakes. See, when we were young, we used to spill a glass of milk, but that time we had our parents to help us and everything. But once we turned like 20 or something, they feel like we are an adult and we should know how to do it, but we don't know how to do it because we didn't do it ever before. So just remember, it's okay to make mistakes. You are going to make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes, just learn from them. And I think that's it for my pros and cons, but I'm really happy to have my space. I'm really happy that I live alone and I have full control over myself, and I'm like, I'm not gonna compromise this ever for anybody. At the end of the day, I will say that it's not about glamorizing the living alone situation, but if you are doing it, make sure that you know that at the end of the day, it's you looking after yourself. You have to be the parent you always wanted. You have to gentle parent yourself now, because if you're harsh on yourself, the world already harsh enough for you. So I think that's it for this video. If you live alone, what are your tips, tricks, life hacks that you use to stay on top of everything? Just comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for more such further contents. See you next time. Bye. I never in my life calculated what the fuck calculated the room rent until now. 46,000 rupees. What the fuck? Thing is that this room rent covers Deva and phone bill, because I don't have phone bill. I just use my Wi-Fi, and if I'm at work I have Wi-Fi there, so it saves me that, and it saves me, I said Deva, right, the gas and the electricity, so that is really good. But 46,000 Indian rupees, man, I can get, you know, the kind of room I can get there.